Now it's my pleasure to introduce Rick Werner. Among other things, he's my boss, but he's also been the Director of Health and Human Services for Cuyahoga County since 2003. And he's in charge of coordinating all the human services in the county, and that is a lot of services. So Department of Children and Family Services, Job and Family Services, Senior and Adult Services, of course, all the community initiatives, etc. By training, he's both a lawyer and a librarian. So you try to think of what is, he understands Ohio Revised Code, and he knows how to put it into the Dewey Decimal System. Is that how that comes together for you, Rick? One of the things I think I admire most about Rick is he truly understands the depth of human needs that there are in the county. He knows the statistics, but he never forgets that there are names and faces, real people behind those statistics. And he's a wonderful advocate and support to all of us who are working hard, and to all of you. So, Rick Werner.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Rick Werner. As Rebecca said, thank you very much, Rebecca, for that generous introduction. I'm here to welcome you on behalf of the County Executive, Ed Fitzgerald, who regrets that he can't be with us this morning, but he was here, as Rebecca mentioned last year, to announce, along with Councilman Rogers, the College Savings Account Initiative, which is on its feet, and I'm sure Julian will update all of us as to the progress that it's made in the past year. I'm grateful to be here. I'm going to say I'm encouraged to be here. I haven't had a chance to take my kids, who are now, my kids started sort of at the beginning, or my kids arrived around the beginning of the Early Childhood Initiative. We had a home visit back when our first daughter was born, and it really, for two parents who were older parents at the time of a newborn, we really benefited from that. And I've had the chance to see through the work of Invest in Children over many years now, just the difference it makes in families across our community, and we're grateful as a community that it exists and it expanded during a very difficult time. I think when Rebecca used the analogy of Humpty Dumpty, I think that was very appropriate, because to some degree what the county and all of our partners in the room do is construct, it sounds bureaucratic, but it's very true, the safety net that ensures, hopefully, that if a child does, or a family or an individual does teeter off that wall, that we have services there provided by many organizations in this room and many who aren't with us today that pick me up, that assists that family in making sure that their kids or their seniors or their adults reach the best possible outcomes for them. But another important piece of what we've done, and I think we've done this with many of the partners in the room again as well, both philanthropic, corporate, and provider partners, is try to construct early intervention or prevention programs. Those are just as important as those programs that go after the fact and try to assist folks. And those programs are the ones that are most at risk when the state and federal government begin to make cuts. Those are the programs that oftentimes don't have the constituency or don't have the investment at the federal and state level, and that's where really the thank you to all of you and to everybody else in the community comes in. If we didn't have the Health and Human Service levies, our local 2 Health and Human Service levies, and under the leadership of both the county executive as well as the county council, we were fortunate enough to pass a levy just a couple of weeks ago that provides a little more additional funding for the work that the county does through all of its partnerships across the community. But that investment that we all make together is really what I consider the county's and the community's big commitment, not only in all of human services, but especially in important programs like Invest in Children. So on behalf of all of my colleagues at the county and the elected leadership above us, I welcome you this morning. I did want to give a shout out. Rebecca had the chance to recognize the Invest in Children partners. Joe Gauntner from CJFS, County Job and Family Services, is here. I know Pat Rideout from the Department of Children and Family Services is here. I think Ruth Gillette, who runs our Office of Homeless Services. There are many of our colleagues, and I know I'm leaving out some, so I apologize for that. But I think what all their commitment and the investment of other leaders within the county and our colleagues represents is the commitment of the entire county, whether we're serving seniors or kids who've had a rough time and are now in the county's custody or who we're working with. We all recognize the importance of early childhood, and so we are all willing partners and hopefully helpful to Rebecca and her colleagues and all of the partners in Invest in Children to make sure that they get a chance to do their work as best they can. It's my responsibility, before I introduce Councilman Rogers, just to recognize a couple other folks that are here. Elected officials, Councilman Dale Miller from the Cuyahoga County Council. I think Councilman Jack Schron is back in the corner. If I've missed another county council member, please forgive me. Sister Joanne Gross from their staff is here as well. I believe Meredith Turner from Sherrod Brown's office may be with us, as well as Marty Gelfand, a councilman from South Euclid. But we appreciate all of the investment of folks in not only in Invest in Children, but in the county Human Services Department through the passage of the levy and your partnership throughout the year. It's now my responsibility to introduce Julian Rogers. Julian is the councilman from District 10 of the County Council, but not for long. As many of you may know, Julian is taking his considerable talents to Cleveland State University, where he's going to be the director of community partnerships, I believe, starting in January. He is part of the rising young leadership of elected leadership in Cuyahoga County. He's been involved at a tender age in politics and government for many, many years in public policy. We've been fortunate that he's chaired the Education, Environment, and Sustainability Committee of County Council. He's been a tireless advocate not only for Invest in Children, but also for the college savings account that he and the county executive, along with other members of county council, have worked very hard to put into place. Julian, while we're going to miss him terribly as he goes off to Cleveland State, frankly, he's continuing, if you want to say, his ministry or his work, because the work that he'll be doing at Cleveland State will be to help all of us in the room who are partners with higher education, K-12 education, as well as early education, to make sure that we're creating what we all want to create, which I think Betty Meyer and Lisa Bottoms and others taught me a long time ago, which is a continuum of services to make sure that no kid falls off that continuum, and that we make sure that our job as public officials, as providers of service, are to build those intersections between these services to make sure that they connect, and I know Julian will be doing that. He has his own early childhood initiative going on at home. He has a 3-year-old son and a relatively newborn daughter, I believe. So I know that even as he transitions to higher education, that we'll still have him as a tireless advocate for early education in Cuyahoga County. I bring to you Councilman Julian Rogers. Thank you very much.
Good morning. Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Rick. I do have 2 young children, and getting here today is a miracle. And I also have to say my 3-year-old is a UPK student. He's at the IIC in Shaker. So it's particularly important for me to be here to represent the county council. This is something that's very important to me. It's something that definitely hits home, and it's been a passion of mine. I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here this morning and share a few thoughts about the Invest in Children program and how the county is progressing as far as education as a whole. I want to acknowledge my wife is here too. I know that she was struggling to get here on time as well, so she's with the Literacy Cooperative. As many of you know, I'll be stepping down, as Rick said, from my position on the County Council in January. This was one of the most difficult decisions of my life, particularly in light of all the exciting new things that are underway at the county. We will soon have a new county administration building that will be state-of-the-art and allow for us to provide better customer service and revitalize the section of downtown that has been vacant for some time. Plans are underway now for a new convention center hotel. I heard there was a story about that in the paper today about the parking issue, but we're very happy about this convention center hotel. It will better position Cleveland to attract large-scale conventions. And there are numerous economic development projects underway that, when complete, will help improve our economy and economic conditions for the people that live here. With the help of most of you in this room, as has been said, we passed a Health and Human Service levy, which will help make up for the millions of dollars lost to state and federal cuts and diminished property values, and allow the county to continue to provide much-needed services for our most vulnerable. So in many ways, things are looking up for Cuyahoga County, and it saddens me to know that I'll be leaving council before these things have come to fruition. I do, however, find comfort in knowing that certain things have been put in place to ensure Cuyahoga County continues its efforts to be more engaged in developing educated citizens. I've said this at this event before, and my colleagues will tell you that I say it all the time. If we're truly going to be successful as a region, if we're going to be able to grow and create new businesses, we need to do a better job of encouraging and providing better access to quality education. And not only that, but we need to change the culture in this region that this region has towards education. Our current culture in this region was shaped by decades of manufacturing, where education beyond high school was not a necessity. But times have changed, manufacturing has changed, I know Jack Strawn knows that. And if we're going to advance our region, our students are going to have to continue their education beyond high school, and our current workforce is also going to need to upgrade their skills. I think efforts underway now at the county are going to help shape that new culture. The first effort is helping to change the culture of education. The first effort that's helping to change the culture of education is one that precedes the new government and the reason why we're here today. The work by Invest in Children helps to lay the groundwork of instilling the value of education with our families and our young children. I was reading the vision statement of Invest in Children the other day. It reads, "All children in Cuyahoga County will reach their full potential, nurtured by families sensitive to their needs and supported by a community committed to their success." That's a great vision for this county, and it's one that I share. Invest in Children does so much, including ensuring quality at our preschools, so children will be prepared for kindergarten. And we know this is important because, as you know, children that enter kindergarten unprepared often face challenges that follow them throughout their whole school career. This often frustrates them and leads to high dropout rates. The County Council is currently reviewing the budget, and I'd like to report that there's agreement among our leadership to include an additional $2 million for the UPK program to service more children. As well as an additional $500,000 for early childhood mental health services. This is over the next 2 years. We will be discussing this afternoon, so hopefully we'll have more good news to report at the end of the day. This time last year, County Executive Fitzgerald and I announced the College Savings Account program. That program passed the council, and Cuyahoga County kindergartners will start to receive their savings account programs in January, so I'm told. I want to acknowledge Ken Surratt, who's here from the administration, who's been managing the program, and he's been doing an excellent job with that. So thank you for your work, Ken. This program should let our children know early in their life that we have high expectations of them and that attending college is a possibility. The County Council also created the Educational Assistance Program. Through this program, we've been providing scholarships to a variety of county residents in different situations. Scholarships have gone to dislocated workers wanting to go back to school. Scholarships have gone to those currently working but wanting to improve their credentials so they could be promoted in their current job. People that are retired but wanting to be retrained to re-enter the workforce for a new career. And college students within 12 credit hours of receiving a degree have all received scholarships. And under a new partnership with College Now, the Educational Assistance Program provided 4-year scholarships for 63 Cuyahoga County high school students to attend college, a college or university within Cuyahoga County. So here too, there's agreement with council leadership to fund the Educational Assistance Program to the tune of $1 million a year, so that we can continue to provide those scholarships for our residents. And under the leadership of Councilman Purnell Jones, we're also considering a program for the upcoming budget that will assist schools in closing the achievement gap. And finally, to ensure that education issues remain a priority, last year the County Council formally added the word education to the committee that I chair. education environment, and sustainability. And hopefully this will ensure that future councils keep a focus on education issues. So as you can see from the work that has already been done through Invest in Children, along with these new programs, we are working to change the culture. The county is now working with children from the womb, in preschool, and kindergarten through high school with the College Savings Account program, as well as the Achievement Gap program, on into college with job training and into adulthood. We're helping to develop lifelong learners. I want to thank you for the opportunity to be here today. I want you all to keep up the good work. Thank you for all your support of Invest in Children. This is really important work. This is some of the most important work that I feel that the county is involved in. If we don't look out for our children, if we don't have strong, thriving families, if we don't have an educated workforce, we really will not have a chance to succeed as a region. So thank you for everything you've done, and thank you for all that you continue to do. It is now my privilege to introduce the co-chair of Invest in Children's Partnership Committee. Paul Clark is the regional president of PNC Bank and has a passion and commitment for our community, which is evident in the number of organizations and boards that he participates. There's too numerous to mention. He is currently president of the United Way Board and is a strong advocate for investments in early childhood. In addition to supporting the work of Invest in Children, PNC's Grow Up Great program's impact can be seen throughout our community. So ladies and gentlemen, I welcome Paul Clark. Thank you.
Hopefully I won't touch any of the buttons on the computer here. Well, good morning, and thank you, Julian, for that introduction. I appreciate it. I want to start by just congratulating and thanking Rebecca Dorman. Dr. Dorman, you're a great leader, and you're a great steward of our community's investment in our community's resources in our children. So thank you. I'd like to thank all those in the public sector who are here, especially those from Cuyahoga County. Rick, thank you for your comments earlier, and several members of the council are here. Thank you for all that you've done to make this so successful. We all appreciate your incredible past support and really encouraged by Julian's comments about your important vote later this afternoon to continue those really worthwhile investments. So thank you for that. A big thank you to the service providing agencies that are here, the community partners that are here, all the early childhood professionals, educators who are in the room here this morning. It's all of you who make this happen every day, and it only happens because of you. So another round of applause for the people that make it happen. A big thank you to the, can you hear me okay? I feel like I'm, okay. A big thank you to the foundation community and to our corporate partners for your financial investment, and as importantly, maybe even more importantly, for your thought leadership. I get to talk to my colleagues around PNC, especially in the three other big PNC markets, which are Northern New Jersey, Philadelphia, and Pittsburgh. And as we talk, they to a person always tell me what they think about Cleveland. Most of them have been here, for enough period of time to have formed an opinion. And I would categorize what they tell me as Cleveland and Cuyahoga County are really in a good spot. We're on a roll right now. We've made billions of dollars of effective investments in capital projects, in brick and mortar, like the Global Center for Health Innovation as one example, spectacular amenities throughout our community. And when I talk to them, they're as engaged in our Grow Up Great program as am I here in Cleveland, but none of them are engaged in a community that is as committed to children as Cuyahoga County and Greater Cleveland are. They are jealous of what we do here and what I tell them about all the work that all of you are doing here. All we talk about is all great news, but what strikes me, maybe it's been formed by my role at PNC, good news usually brings more work. And I think that's probably where we are. The work for our children in Cuyahoga County, I think, has never been more critical. We've got to continue to connect our children intellectually and connect them emotionally to all that brick and mortar that's come out of the ground here over the last couple of years. That's what will bring the amenities to life. That's what will sustain them, I think, for generations to come. We've got to make the right investments, big investments, sustained investments, continuing investments in our children for all this stuff that we just built to work out into the future. My task here is to provide greetings from the Partnership Committee that Rebecca had mentioned earlier. And I got to tell you, it's a real privilege for PNC to be a part of this, to be able to co-chair this with County Executive Ed Fitzgerald. And part of that privilege is the work that PNC does with Grow Up Great. It's absolutely consistent with all the work that happens under the umbrella of Invest in Children. In the past 4.5 years, PNC has invested $5 million in Cuyahoga County, including universal pre-kindergarten, and we've had over 3,300 of our 5,100 employees here in Cuyahoga County in Greater Cleveland volunteer in the early childhood space. We're very, very proud of that. We've reached hundreds of classrooms, hundreds of educators, and our best guess through our third-party evaluations is almost 30,000 children over that 4.5-year period. Let me talk for a minute about the Invest in Committee Partnership Committee, many of whom are here with us this morning. We're a broad-based, diverse group from the public sector, the foundation community, the private corporate sector, community leadership, and educational leadership as well. And what we are, I think, is best described as a formal network, We meet formally throughout the year, including this annual meeting. More often, though, we meet ad hoc when we're needed, especially when there's a bill, a legislative bill, that's important to our children's future. What we do is work to keep up the vision we all share in this room. And that vision is simply stated, we're a broad community committed to children, period. We serve as a voice for Cuyahoga County. We serve to provide advocacy on behalf of the county for early childhood wherever and whenever we can. Practically, we persistently look for investment dollars, especially at the public level and at the state level. Maybe better said, we work to find the leverage points that provide the big ideas and enable the big ideas that can bring this work to the next level. And it's work that's not getting any easier. It's tricky. We're working to catalyze the private sector, and this is the work that continues, especially the area corporations when I say private sector. We all agree this effort only works best when we're a partnership trio, and that partnership trio includes the public sector, the foundation community, and the corporate community, both in terms of engagement and in terms of dollar resources. That's much of the work that's going to continue going forward, especially as the county continues to launch new innovative programs that impact our children. Julian listed them, and they're just awesome, incredible, spectacular programs. Lastly, we're going to have a new Cuyahoga County executive in January of 2015. So as we move into 2014, the Partnership Committee looks forward to and welcomes the opportunity to individually meet with the candidates, to provide for them a briefing, and engage with them in a dialogue about their ideas to further this work. And you can contact me if you'd like to take me up on that offer. We look forward to it. So welcome, and thank you for your passionate commitment to Cuyahoga County's children and our future. And as the sign says on the board, we are making a big impact together.